Hello everybody, this is DisturbingPuppet back again with some more Mordheim. So, a little bit later than I usually would be playing something, but wanted to do a mission here anyway. So kind of figured why not stream it since I didn't get a chance to stream something earlier. So just kind of continuing my campaign of Mordheim, playing a Mercenary band. Not streaming every single scenario I'm doing, just kind of sporadically doing stuff. I might do it a little bit more often because I am playing quite a bit and enjoying it. So let's take a look. I'll make sure everything seems to be working. Don't see any obvious problems. So my mercenary band, the Unlucky Few, was a name that I picked up early on after things were going very badly for me at the start, but then things started to kind of turn around after I changed the name. See my overall success rate pretty good. Enemies at action, not too bad. Recently I did one of the main story missions for the Mercenaries, which was going to a library full of demons and all kinds of horrible stuff going on. That was much harder than I expected. It kind of had a recommended rating of like 1200 listed on there, and I took some of my lower level guys trying to level things up and got pretty banged up actually. So this will probably be the squad I'm going to be taking out. You can see I've got my backup leader, who was actually my original leader, who kind of got replaced by my original backup, who's now my main leader. Got hurt in the last mission, doing a little bit of training and stuff. So I'm trying to level up some guys and get some things going with them. I have leveled up quite a few characters now, a bit more, but I'm having trouble leveling up some of my lower level guys. I'm at the point where they'll just get instantly killed by anything they come across if they end up in combat. Really just taking a few hits is enough to take them out, so it's kind of dangerous to be taking the low level guys. And buying guys is quite expensive. Even looking at like level 4s and stuff, over 1,000 gold for a lot of these, which is just crazy. So I have lost a few random guys, but nothing too major. I've got a backup level 3 warrior here. I've got a backup level 6 Youngblood who's been doing pretty good for me. My level 1 champion here I probably would be looking to replace at some point. And then I've got a level 4. My leader's all maxed out. Right now we've got the hammer and shield pistol. His main thing is having Web of Steel leveled up so he can parry up to 3 attacks that come at him. He's generally pretty tough. My level 5 champion is my highest level champion because my previous one got killed. And so he's actually doing pretty good level-wise. So I went ahead and gave him Web of Steel. Most recently I gave him armor proficiency just to help with his movement because he has lost a leg. And I've got a few kind of blue level items to help him out. And then this is a map that might increase his movement if I really need it. Nothing too crazy. This higher level Youngblood that I've been using for a while, I've got kind of the Greatsword here as a backup. Mostly I've been using this Bow of Havoc that I found and doing a lot more ranged attacks with him now. The Ogre is just a monster. I do have a lot of skill points that I can use to level things up with him. Right now I've got kind of a charge, a jaw strike, increased ambush range, and I'd like to increase his health. There's all kinds of things here I'd like to increase. But I kind of rely on him so much for fights that having him out for training is really detrimental, especially when I only have kind of a level 1 guy to take his place. Level 10 melee guy here. He's got a purple hunting rifle, which has worked out pretty well. Kind of some backup melee weapons and stuff. And then my other ranged guy, only up to level 4 now, also has a blue longbow. So I'm actually doing pretty good picking up some higher level stuff. I have a couple of level 9 warriors now. This guy has lost an eye, so we're kind of using the mace to sort of make up for that a little bit. My other level 9. Have some decent equipment here, nothing too fantastic. And this is my next highest level warrior guy, level 6. And he's got a blue dagger here, which actually does more damage than any of the regular weapons, so we're just kind of using that. What I'm kind of doing with the regular warriors mostly is tying up enemies and then using my champion or Youngblood or leader or ogre to kind of finish them off, maybe taking some shots with my ranged guys as well. So really they're just kind of there to hang out as long as possible and tie up enemies. This other guy I haven't given shield specialist to, and I might not. I might want to be looking at maybe building him more towards having a halberd or something down the road. We'll just kind of see how it goes. But even with the armor and the parrying ability, these guys do get hammered pretty often by the guys I'm running into at this point. So I'm definitely not an expert at this game. I never did play the board game, but I do like a lot of Games Workshop stuff. And the whole thing of playing missions, guys getting experience leveling up, really appeals to me. So it kind of keeps pushing me to do more missions and stuff. But I have everything kind of set up with these guys. Mainly what I want to do is keep leveling up my level 4 champion here, or 5 champion, and keep working on this level 6 warrior. Everyone else is pretty well set. I've got a couple level 9s who might level up at some point. So we're just going to go ahead and see what kind of missions we have available. So you have some options. Kind of what you're doing is acquiring Wordstone for a sponsor. I just sent off a payment for that. So this is the amount of Wordstone that I have right now, 400, gold 568. I'm going to kind of hold on to about 400. Anything above that I'll probably sell off. I'm kind of saving this for my next shipment request that comes in, just to kind of tide me over in case I have some missions where I don't get much or don't get any Wordstone. So every time you want to do missions, you have kind of some options. So it'll give you some different kinds of missions. It's kind of listing under the skull is sort of your warrior band rating related to the opposing warrior band rating, the Wordstone symbol, and then whether it's average, poor, good, and then the chest is kind of other random items and things. I played a mission before where both warbands were scattered randomly, and it put us both right on top of each other, and he got to go first and nearly wiped out my entire warband before I could do anything, so I don't really like that idea. This is a hard, so it's possible, but there's not good rewards. This one's pretty bad rewards. You can spend a little bit of gold to get some other options out if you want. I may go ahead and do this one. Yeah, one thing that you don't know ahead of time, it says one warband is caught exploring buildings while the other deploys tightly around its wagon. You have no idea going in which you're going to be, so I don't know if I'll be in the buildings or I'll be around my wagon or not. But I think I'll go ahead and go for this one. I've done this one on either side, and it's not too bad. So everything's kind of set up. I'll go for that.
Exploring one of the city's old residential districts, you quickly discover that you aren't alone. Another warband is looting the nearby buildings. Dispersed in the ruins, the scavengers present an inviting target for your warriors as they deploy near your wagon.
Okay, so I'll be surprising him. Doesn't make too much difference, though. Oh, I do have a fan. It's not too noisy or anything. I do have to alt-tab out to check comments and stuff, so I will try to do that occasionally. So if anything's off, sound is too loud, game volume's too loud, any of that kind of stuff, let me know. So this is deployment phase. Sometimes it can be really confusing where you can go. As you can kind of see, I've got ruined stairs, which means I can't go up there. Sometimes there's climbing positions, sometimes there's not. Sometimes you can only jump down from levels. So finding how to get to places sometimes can be really confusing. You can go to an overhead map. So I'm just going to take a look and see where they're going to be at. So that's his kind of cart and base. So I would assume he's somewhere around there. I don't see any other symbols anywhere. You can see, kind of gives you an idea of where this is icons for items, and then this would be Wordstone. It doesn't tell you like how much Wordstone is there, but when you get close, you can actually kind of look at it and eyeball it and see. So what I usually do is try to figure out sort of a battle plan based on where I want to move and how. I've got two sort of access ways to here. One would be coming straight down this way, coming in. The other is sort of straight this way. It looks like I can get through either way, but it's hard to tell from the map sometimes. The ogre, being big, sometimes has limited deployment options. This is actually his only place he can deploy if I want to put him anywhere, so I guess that'll be fine. Sometimes checking your orientation is kind of difficult when you're first kind of getting into the mission, trying to figure out where things are at. I may split up here. I'm not sure quite yet if I'm going to do that or not. It's kind of dangerous to do that. Wanted to make sure I had my guy with the peg leg there in front because he does have slower movement. So you can kind of see you're going to move one guy at a time. The upper left-hand corner, there's a blue bar and a red bar. The blue bar is sort of my leadership. So the top is my current leadership. Where the line and the number is the leadership it gets to, where I'd have to start making checks to see if I basically run away and having had too many of my guys taken out, and the same for the opponent. So as you level up and increase your leadership skill for your guys, that overall number is going to increase, and then the lower number will increase as well. But you guys are worth more, so it's still kind of around the same. About the time you're going to lose half your guys, typically, that's when you're going to start making checks. It can vary a little bit, though. So if you spot someone on the map, they will actually show up. So sometimes it's hard to actually see them when you're looking from your point of view, and sometimes it's just a good idea to kind of check the map and look, see if there might be icons. Once you've spotted someone, then they will appear in the top, where you can kind of see the order of initiative. So I do have some items, things I can use. Perception check looks to basically spot any traps or hidden items and things. Overwatch just gives you a one shot. What I'm going to do is just kind of move around just to kind of take and get an eye on some different angles. Try to get my perception. You can go ahead and do a perception roll anytime you want, and it's basically active for the whole turn, even after you move. It's not active from where you use it. Okay, I'm not going to waste any more movement. We'll just kind of head through. I want to take a look down here, see. You can see sort of the green mist is sort of marking the edge of the border, so you don't have to worry about anything coming from that direction. So really the way to advance towards them is sort of down that road. There's also paths through the buildings, but it's really hard to tell where you can get to and from sometimes. If you don't spot any enemies, you can't actually move and sort of backtrack. So you can sort of see kind of the blue glowing dots. So if I move back, I get another point of movement back. The blue in my information under my character is sort of my movement or special abilities that take time. And then the red is kind of attacks. So you can sort of move around, and then if you don't spot anybody, you can actually kind of move back the other way if you want to. So I'm just going to go ahead and try to do another perception roll here. This time it works. I don't think there's anything around I'm going to spot. There's a lot of things around that could be traps, so that's sort of what I'm keeping an eye out for. And we'll just put him in Overwatch, so we'll take a shot at something if anything comes into his view. So you can see that it's kind of updating the Wordstone claim, so the enemy's also grabbing Wordstone. So when you take guys out, you can also take items off of them, including the Wordstone they've gathered. Of course, he can do that to you too. So this is my level 10 rifleman, who's also very good perception. And with him, I think I'm actually going to head up this way and kind of use him to spot anything. So you can kind of see there, highlighted through the building, that's where that is. So if I look, I can see it here on the map, but it's kind of hard to tell how to get to it. Doors you can't open. It's a little unclear if I have to come in through that open door back there, or if I have to come in through the open door just ahead to get to it. And then there's also a dead person there. Yeah, so from here now I can see that you've got to actually come in that building from the other side if you want to get that. Oh, I've got vision on somebody there. Way out here. So these must be witch hunters, I guess. I think that's who these are. So I'm going to creep up just a bit, see if I can see what's here. Well, I definitely want that, but I can't pick it up with this guy unless I drop something else. I don't really want to drop any of my stuff, so somebody else will have to pick that up. Unfortunately, because I did that with my last movement, now I'm sort of blocking anyone else's ability to scavenge. There's sort of a little circle around each guy, and if you're in that, you can't do any other actions. So because I'm sort of right on top of this, nobody else will be able to access that body to scavenge. So I know I have contact that direction. Typically, the AI kind of rushes towards wherever there's contact. So I'm probably just going to move up to reinforce there. We may go ahead and ignore this other side direction. Might leave somebody there just to keep an eye on that. Or maybe move up to get in the building from the other side. I'd like to get some height, which would be nice. It increases your chances to hit. But it's kind of hard to tell sometimes where. So those are climb points there with the arrows going up. Sometimes there's stairs inside to get to these upper levels and walkways. I'd really like to get onto some of those, but not sure. Take a look. Okay, there are stairs here. So I'm going to plan on heading him up. He's my weaker archer, so I want to keep him a little bit more protected. I hear loud thumping. I don't know if you can hear that. It always makes me nervous. Sometimes you can hear them moving around, but you can't see them, and it's kind of disconcerting. So the only person I've spotted was this one. I definitely heard some movement. He even could have been up here somewhere. I don't know exactly where he's kind of based, what building he was in. It could have been this one, it could have been this one, I'm not sure. But my leader is dead hard tough, so he's going to move up to support. I kind of use pistols with him first, then I'll kind of switch over to fighting in combat. He's mainly kind of designed for parrying. But if I can whittle people down a little bit with some pistol shots, that always helps. Kind of short range. His skill isn't that great, so I don't have anything longer with him, longer range, that is. Just throw my ogre out front. See, and there's this trap that I ended up stepping on without realizing. And so it's a minus 25% to all alone, fear, and terror tests, which doesn't really matter for my ogre. Just looking around for any other enemies. Don't see anybody. I'm going to check the map too. So I can tell from looking, like that wordstone right there is actually a shard, which is worth 5. That looks like a shard over there. There's some that are like little tiny pieces that are only worth 1. There's these intermediate size ones that are worth 5, and then there's big ones that are worth 15. So if you see the bigger ones, you definitely want to go for it. My ogre has a skill that increases his ambush range. So if I put him in ambush, you can kind of see this red outline. So anyone who enters this area, I will charge an attack. And it's been increased, so that's quite far. It should be further than anybody charging in towards me. So he'll kind of protect my other guys if I do this. I'll go ahead and throw him in ambush state. We are kind of pumping a lot of guys down this little alleyway. So I'm not sure if that's great. It's not really helpful to fight if you're all bottlenecked. This kind of open area is okay to fight. This, if I can get out to here fighting, it should be okay. But if we end up kind of in a fight down in this alleyway, it's not going to be great. Okay, I'm just checking the stream and I'm getting a network error. I'm hoping I'm still streaming. I'm not sure. I am also recording this, so I usually put my videos up on YouTube as well down the road. So I'm just going to keep going. I'm hoping it's just an error from me to see stuff. But if you're watching and you have a chance, maybe type something into chat. Let me know if it's actually still streaming or not. So here I'm sort of hiding this guy inside the building, and then I'm going to put him in ambush inside in case anybody comes up that alleyway. But it's really more just to kind of keep him out of vision of the enemy. Try to keep him guessing about exactly how many guys I have where. A spell being used on my ogre, and he had a negative effect happened as a result. I actually don't have any magic users because when I played through the tutorials it seemed really inconsistent. There's a lot of kind of negative things that can happen to you when you cast spells, so I've never really bothered picking up a spellcaster. I probably will eventually, but I'll probably pay to have a higher level one. So there's a good Overwatch shot. This guy moves up, he's going to get ambushed. Okay, he's stopping just short of being ambushed. Yeah, just checking the chat, I'm still getting the error, so yeah, I don't know if I'm streaming. So if somebody puts a comment in chat, please, that would be nice to let me know if I'm actually streaming or not, or if you're getting an error code. So I just picked up the ability to increase his movement when wearing heavy armor, so it looks like it actually made a bit of a difference. So between his peg leg and then wearing heavy armor, his movement was very slow. I'm actually going to plan on coming over to grab some wordstone here if I can. My guys in heavy armor have a reduced chance of climbing up, so if I wanted to get people up, it's not really a good idea to use them. My archers and stuff are just wearing clothing, so they're much better for climbing and have a much higher chance of doing that. If you're dropping from up above, even if you fail, you're still going to fall. You just take a little bit of damage. If you're trying to climb and you fail, you take damage and you don't climb. So you can just do it over and over and over again, keep trying and like hurting yourself over and over and over again. So I don't even often try to climb with my guys in heavy armor. This is my lower level guy here in the back. Kind of keep him back to protect him, I guess. Oh, actually, no, that's not. The guy with my dagger is my lower level guy. I just switched that around, so it's a little confused. Now, see, that's the case where he got a charge in because my ambush range is smaller because of my movement being reduced for heavy armor and my missing a leg, so he can charge from outside that range. I don't actually get the ambush off. That's one thing that can be really frustrating, though. So yeah, if you do get counterattacks, if you have action points left, so those red skulls are sort of your combat actions. So if you get attacked and you dodge or you parry, you still can get a counterattack in if you have some. So you can also kind of pull up a menu of your skills and stuff and look at your items if you want. I actually have an oil bomb here. The luck trinket just means if you're going to go down, you can kind of use it, and it increases your chances of having no negative effects for injuries. So I've got that on some of my guys that I'm leveling up, or some of my better guys. I don't have a huge number of those, but some. So let's see if I can move up from this side and maybe get a shot in. So I'm going to take an aim shot, give it a try here. Now he might be moving guys up through these buildings. So this could be a really dangerous point if he can move through the buildings towards me. I may not want to hang around here. Actually, how many guys do I have spotted? 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's got at least 5 other guys somewhere. And unfortunately, I don't have enough. You use your blue points for reloading ranged weapons and then your red skulls for attacks. And some actions require a combination of both, like disengaging from combat or switching weapons. So not a lot of options of things I can do at this point. So I can throw a firebomb somewhere, but I'll hold on to that. He's just going to have to hang out and end his turn. Hopefully he's not going to get swarmed by guys working their way through the buildings and alleyways here. So we can move all the way up there. Don't like that. So then I'm going to go ahead and reload. So it does highlight if you have multiple different targets. So this is that guy if I want. So I did just pick up this, a hand shot. It decreases their attack chances for a turn by 10%, which isn't a huge decrease, or I can just take regular shots. I wouldn't mind, I don't know if I'm close enough to get a shot at the guy who's stunned back there. Looks like from here I can take a shot. So from here I've got 3 targets. I'm going to go ahead and go for the magic user. I don't like what he's probably going to try to do with him. So since he's down, increased chance of crits or increased chance to hit. I'm not sure which exactly. It might be both. Like I said, I'm not an expert at this game. I just kind of started with the Mercenary band because it was recommended and did all the tutorials and just kind of jumped right in. So from here, I'm hoping this connects to the walkway. Who am I seeing? Oh, all the way across there. Okay. Since we've got shots from here, might as well take them. And that was a free reload because I picked up a skill that decreases my chance, or the cost by 1. First time you reload costs 1 normally, then 2, then 3. So for him, the first one is free, then 1. Good, both hit. Kind of softening him up for combat. So here I've got a couple targets ahead of me. There's a couple targets here, which I'm not super happy about. I think he's in ambush, so he might charge me here. So my ogre does cause fear, so that was him failing a fear check. And if you fail a fear check, it doesn't mean that you don't get to attack or move in, it just decreases your chance to hit. And now I'm just going to wail on this guy. So he's got actions left, so he can counterattack as well. I do just an astounding amount of damage with this ogre. Some basic attacks. The only thing special I picked up with him is a Jaw Strike, which affects magic users. So that's why I'd like to clear this guy out and get towards that magic user. Oh, it didn't take him out. I thought I'd take him out with that one. Still have some left. So defensively with him, I can dodge. That's pretty much it with this weapon. He also has pretty good parry chance, but I have to switch weapons over. So you can have a couple different weapon setups. So his secondary weapon setup is a sword and a mace. And with a sword you can parry, or with a shield you can parry. Halberds can parry. So certain weapons can parry, other ones can't. So I typically just kind of go with dodge until I get weakened a little bit, and then I'll go ahead and switch over to my other combo, which lets me parry. So I can sort of move here a little bit, and then if I just come back, I've got all my movement back. What I may do is move him up. I think that walkway connects here, or maybe not. There we go, yeah. I missed 70%. I've missed a lot of 90-some percents in this game, so sometimes the percentages seem a little off. I'm just going to go ahead and switch weapons and just kind of move up. Kind of letting myself get ambushed. I don't mind so much. I don't really want him getting away. So I do have Staggering Blow reduces someone's initiative. The Jaw Strike affects magic users and makes it less likely that they'll successfully cast stuff. And just basic attacks. So stances like dodging, parrying, that kind of thing do require movement, so I used all my movement to get in here. So I'm not going to be able to parry anything. So we'll just reduce his initiative there. Ah, this guy. I hate these guys. This is sort of the Witch Hunter's equivalent of my Ogre. And that's not the first time I've seen that happen. They throw down these weird pyres that have effects within a certain radius. But then what often happens is they'll throw them out there, but then they try to charge through them or move through them and just get stuck. But they're really dangerous. They do a lot of damage, so I definitely want my Ogre dealing with him. I really don't want anybody else fighting that guy. I think I'm just going to move through the building and bring some support over to this side. This little Skaven writing thing here could be a trap. I haven't used my perception on it to be able to know for sure. I do have some room in my backpack, and there's some wordstone up here. So I'm going to grab that and then probably just go into ambush.
Objectives updated.
So the wordstone does have an effect on you. Sometimes it's negative, sometimes positive, sometimes nothing. So they're -5 leadership, intelligence, and alertness for a couple turns. I'm just setting up an ambush in case anybody comes from these directions. I do have some magical resistance stuff on my Ogre, but I don't think it's ever successfully resisted any magical effects. pretty good amount of damage there, actually. So I'm hoping I can deal with this guy here relatively quickly. I don't do a huge amount of damage with my spear, but the spear has a decreased chance of people being able to dodge or parry it. And he does have Web of Steel, so he can actually parry a couple times. So hopefully he'll be relatively safe there. He's one of those guys I really need to level up more. So the more guys he takes out, the more experience he'll get as well. So this is actually my lower level guy. Though I do not want fighting the big scary Jason Voorhees guy with the apron made of human skin. I'm assuming, anyway. So we'll just use him to gang up on this guy here. So he's lower level, so his parry is only about 72, and that's with the shield and I think flash parry, which is a skill that gives him increased parry chance. So here we want to pick up that shield for sure. Putting him in an ambush stance, sort of protect my rifleman there. So there's a parry. Should be able to counterattack because I do have 1 point left. Parries normally cost 1, but my leader has an ability that if he successfully parries, he gets a free 1. So he can actually parry 3 times and successfully hit people back 3 times. There's another magic user, I think, running around back there. Yeah, we'll take the increased chance, 79%. That was a crit, so he's actually stunned. You can see him kind of down on his knees there. Like I said, I know that increases your hit chance. I'm not sure if it increases your crit chance once somebody's down like that. And nothing else I can do with him, so we'll just end his turn. If anybody comes up close, I'll switch over to his greatsword. You can dish out a decent amount of damage with that. Yeah, I'm just looking at, I can't actually destroy the power of the righteous outright. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do the hand shot on the big guy. That'll decrease his chance to hit for a turn, if I hit him anyway. Okay, decent amount of damage, and that'll drop his hit chance. And I'm going to move back. And then use my last movement to go into dodge stance, so we might dodge an attack. Put him in just a little bit safer position. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and aim at this guy. If I hit him, it'll take him out. We'll free up my ogre, so I don't have to waste any attacks on him. Okay, good. Also means more experience for taking somebody out. And I think we'll focus on doing some damage to the big guy here. Plan on having my ogre deal with him. Taking some unnecessary shots. But we're keeping him tied up so he's not ganging up on my guys. He didn't actually charge me, he went for ambush, which is kind of strange. I'm basically right on top of him already. I'm too close to charge him, but I'll just move just for a second. Like half of a step or a quarter of a step, be in combat with him. I've already taken quite a good amount of damage, over 130 some odd damage, which is quite a bit. I may want to switch out after I hammer him a little bit. Switch over to my sword and mace combo. Yeah, his attacks set you on fire as well, which is not wonderful. I do a lot more damage with the hammer, so it's... I kind of want to get that extra damage in before I switch over to try to parry. I'm definitely going to need some extra shots on this guy to take him down. He's doing just a massive amount of damage to me and setting me on fire. Do another counterattack. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over. And then with my parry, I've got a 95% chance to parry an attack. I'm already down to 288. Wow. That's like the worst my ogre has ever been, I think. Oh, he's going to charge in on my ogre as well. Glad he's missing. If you want to do a special attack, you'd want to do that after at least your first one, because if you have somebody who's in a dodge stance or parry stance, they're going to dodge or parry that first attack that comes at them. I learned that the hard way, way too many times trying to use a special ability first. And do the same, just try to reduce his initiative, since I only get one more attack anyway. And then I should parry anything he throws at me, be able to get some counterattacks in. Yeah, no crits. It must just be increased chance to hit if someone's stunned. all kinds of skills, skill combinations, abilities, items, and things that work together in different ways. I'm still definitely kind of learning a lot of that stuff. So I spotted somebody, actually it was very close to where I'm at, with Gustav here. A bit worried about my ogre, actually. I think when these guys free up, I'll probably have to move them down around this way, or try to get them past this combat, help out, at least against the magic user on the end here. But since I spotted somebody, he must be higher up above me. I do have an increased ambush range with Gustav here as well, so I'm just going to leave him in ambush stance. I'm going to keep saying state. There's a state of ambush. There's a crit. It'd be nice if I can take him out here before he gets up, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think I do enough damage. It's possible. There we go. Okay, I'm going to loot his corpse. Oh, he had a cluster. That's good. That's worth 15.
Objectives updated.
And see, that just affects my spellcasting, so not a big deal. But this is my lower level guy. I really don't want him involved in the fighting over there. I can't grab the word stone because it's right next to my champion. So I'm just going to kind of move up here a little bit. Actually going into a parry stance there. I've got the area covered with the ambush from the other guy, so I'm not too concerned about that. I don't think I can actually get into combat here. Yeah, it's sort of... It's basically kind of treating it like my ogre's blocking the way, even though I moved past him. And I can't attack these with melee. I could get into a melee with the big guy, but that's not... Yeah, I mean, I do need to get some extra damage in on him, but he does so much that this guy's liable to die. Let's see if I can sneak around. Oh, I found the other guy. This is other magic user back here. Yeah, he might need some assistance. He got critted there early on. And all I can really do is attack or intern.
A new round has started.
So there's 12 fire damage right there. Gotta focus on this big guy. Gotta take him out. Okay, used up all his counterattacks. I don't need a miss. I definitely don't need you to be missing. Definitely gonna have to throw some arrow shots and rifle shots and stuff at that guy. Some magic. Spell failing. Something bad happening to him. That's part of why with magic it seems awfully inconsistent. There's things you can do to mitigate some of those risks, but definitely seems very inconsistent. And all I can see is the guy up there with my leader. I move out a little bit, I have a better shot at him. I think I'm going to try to move in a position where I might be able to get a shot on the big guy. I can't get there right now, but next turn I'll be able to do that. It'll just be an overwatch for now. My leader has that guy covered. It's not a big deal. I don't really need to be taking shots at him, too. It's the Jason Voorhees guy and the other magic user that are both on my ogre that I really have to worry about at this point. I only get a 79% chance here. And a good hit. Yeah, unfortunately, only getting the one shot off with him. But any damage will help. If I can get a couple shots in here, that would be really nice. Parry, give me a counterattack. Oh, got somebody coming through the building here. So maybe just taking shots from inside the building. Ambush. So since he's right in the doorway, that's going to block the other guy. With that being his leader, you can see the little crown underneath the icon. That means it's his leader. He's going to be pretty tough, have a bunch of abilities probably and powers. So I might have to throw a couple guys on him. Hey, parry. Still doing a lot of damage. I was hoping he'd at least miss one of those. Jeez. He's breaking the world, trying to throw a pyro out. That's a lot of damage. Ogre's actually in a bit of trouble. He's never actually been taken out in a combat before. Do have room in my backpack, so we'll check in for anything we might want to take. Axe of Perforation. Yeah, that sounds alright. Extra armor penetration. Yeah, you can see here 62% chance to jump down, so 62% chance I won't take any damage. I can't tell, are those stairs there? Yeah, just take the stairs for free. I want to leave at least a couple here, though, to have a parry available. Or I can just get into combat with the magic user from behind. Okay, you can pick up that word stone. No, that's not what I wanted you to do. Yeah, if those two things close together, it'll give you the interaction. Gotta make sure you highlight the right thing.
Objectives updated.
These two guys here, I'm not sure I can pass through. Okay, it's gonna let me. Not doing a lot of damage. He's probably got good armor and stuff. Hoping that web of steel is going to keep him alive in the fight. He can just parry once, but pretty good chance. Hopefully they'll be okay there. So I could move him through in that direction to work his way around to the archer that's in that same building. Or I could head over to help the other guy, or I could use my Youngblood to head over to help the other guy who's fighting in the building. So I think for him, at least for right now, we're just going to kind of take a peek here and see. Can't actually get in the building from this side. So we'll just set up an ambush there in case anybody tries to come around. And if I want to help out here, this is pretty blocked off. And actually, you can get around the other side of that wall. So yeah, definitely somebody else can get in here to help me, or he might try to get around to swarm me. Hoping he'll be okay there. Try to get somebody over to help as soon as possible.
A new round has started.
More damage. Down to 75, 73? Jeez. Okay. Well, that's the big guy down. I can't disengage from combat. I guess my ogre doesn't want to. But if I take another big hit, and then with the fire damage I'm taking, I'm probably toast. So do I want 2 regular attacks, or do I want to do the jaw strike? It looks like this guy's probably going to take an action before my leader would be able to finish him off. So I think I'm going to go for the jaw strike. And we miss. Awesome. Hopefully my parry keeps me alive. Pulling off a whole bunch of stuff there. I've got an oil bomb, don't I? So I'm going to move him over to assist in here. I was hoping to be able to get in that corner and then throw the oil bomb in there on them before he ambushed me. That way I could have set them both on fire, done some more damage. Looks like I can still use it, actually. Be careful I don't light myself on fire or my buddy on fire. Don't have enough left to dodge or anything. I'm just going to have to take the hits, unfortunately. Hopefully I'll be okay. That was a lot of damage. But only one attack. Good. Let's see if I can get a shot. There we go. %69 isn't great. I mean, I'd like to reduce his chance to hit, but I don't know about a 69% actually hitting. So I'm just going to go for the aim shot here. Really hoping my ogre doesn't die here. I could go for his leader or the pyre. That's it. I'd like to get a shot on the magic user. My ogre is definitely in the way. And it's still just the leader or the pyre. Couple shots at the leader. Yeah, really worried about my ogre. It's too bad he passed both of his tests there. Even if he doesn't do much damage to me since I'm on fire, he still might be able to kill me off. Ooh, that's nice. Oh, it didn't stun him though. Splitting up his attacks. Ogre lives! Ogre will live! I think. Anyway, I hope that should be it. Yeah, Ogre will live. I don't have any more room to pick anything up, so I'm not even going to check him for anything. See if we can move around to help without catching fire. I don't think we can. But we can shoot him in the back. It's not a real good chance, but take the shot. Keep hammering his leader. I'm not doing a lot of damage, though. So he just had to make a route check and passed. He does still have his leader left, so that's probably why. As long as the leader's still there, high leadership, he'll probably pass. Passed his all alone check, too. Good. Parry. Two parries. Excellent. Yeah, I'm not sure where this guy is going to end up going. I'll leave him here ambushing just in case he tries to sneak around the side. Leopold here is not in super great shape.
A new round.
Fortunately, now that fire is not doing me any favors. So yeah, you can see if you do a perception check, you can also see people through walls. Only if they're really close, though. I am actually going to pull my ogre back. I do not want him to die. So, still going to take fire damage, but I'm hoping the fire effect will end before he croaks. And even if he goes down, he may not die or anything. It's just, you have to make injury rolls if someone who goes down during the combat, during one of the scenarios. Faith failed. It's a negative effect. And 93% parry fail. There we go. Got stunned. And something else happened. Yeah, like I said, magic is very inconsistent. Yeah, he's taking a massive beating here. Not a lot I can do. Actually, I can't even leave combat. It's just kind of in this corner, unfortunately. That'll help a little bit. Pretty big hit and stunned him. All kinds of weird, horrible chaos magic going on back there. You have a shot on. Oh, him, the leader. Almost forgot about him. So initially thinking having this guy go over to help in the building. I don't know if I'd get an angle on it though, so this is probably the better thing. Take out his leader if possible. You really got basically 4 guys dealing with his leader at this point. The rifleman, the archer, and 2 warriors. Yeah, both hit, nice. Take out his leader, I'll probably be able to deal with these guys without too much problem. He'll probably fail his check, because his leader will go down, he'll have to make another check, and then, without having that additional leadership, hopefully that would be it. I'm actually torn on which one to shoot at. They're both stunned. It doesn't matter. Kind of thinking going for the one with the lower health, more likely to take him out. That guy who's fighting him also is at lower health. Jeez, 2 misses. Just when you need to do some damage, can't do anything. Hoping the fire effect goes away soon and then I can get in there. It may not matter if I can take out the leader and they fail their leadership check. The misses don't help. Definitely gets pretty tense as you're playing this sometimes. It's like, I just need to take out one more guy and everything will be fine. And you don't want your people to die or not doing enough damage. So you can be in a situation where you have multiple guys who are on the verge of death and you just need to take out one more of his guys and then you should be able to make them fail their check. But you've got to get that to work. Ooh, what have we got here? Well, that's pretty good. On damage received, 12% chance to gain an offensive point. And magic resistance. Both of these are pretty good. Tempted to even just give up the Wardstone shard for the sword. The map is probably less useful, honestly, for me, though. I do have more elven wines, so that's a good choice as well. And we'll creep on through here. There we go. Leadership out, so that'll take care of it. So we got lucky. None of my guys got taken out. So this is sort of treasury there, total amount of gold crowns and wardstone gathered. That's what my guys grabbed during the mission, and then above it is for the mission. You kind of get a certain number of wardstone shards and items depending on the availability during the mission that you had to do.
When the Baron hears how you decimated the enemy, he will be as pleased as a halfling in a pie shop. He may even send a bit of gold by way of gratitude.
So let's see what kind of level ups we got. Mental is not that useful for me, but okay. Yeah. Leopold got critted, so he'll have to take a couple days to recover from the injury. No increases for him. Mental point there. A couple points. Good. When I keep leveling up my archers and stuff, I often have had quite a few of them develop megalomania, which means they're basically nuts and will only use melee weapons, which is not very useful for a ranged character. Cool, got some good stuff. So here the 4 is for the medical costs. It'll ask you to do that first, so treatment required. Pay for that. And then you got to actually pay the money for the guys that you used in the mission, but I got some gold for that mission, which is not very common actually. Gold is actually a big problem in this game. I always need a lot more to get guys and level guys up than I ever have. So it's always a big struggle. I'm always selling off as much wardstone as I can just to kind of keep things going, have a decent amount of money. Then I blow it all in skills, and then it's all gone again. So that's just the pattern. Anyway, yeah, like I said, I'm still having the weird network error issue, so I'm not even sure if I'm streaming at this point, but I am saving this, and I'll upload it to YouTube as well. So if you're checking this out down the road or anything, you can always check me out on Twitch and on YouTube. It's DisturbingPuppet. I'll probably play a couple more random games of Mordheim as things go along. Going to be playing some different things as well, I think. We'll see what happens. But anyway, thanks very much for watching. I do appreciate it, and hopefully I'll see you next time.